the truth is that online business, the future of online business is personal digital storefronts. It's like, what are you using now? Right? What are you on right now? And for a long time, I realized I have two blocks. One was around making content and speaking my voice. The other was around this faint belief of the old system, the old paradigm of what business is, and what business is, right? Legacy, brick and mortar, physical store, that kind. But I obviously already knew that the digital economy is only going to keep growing, but it's like part of that belief didn't believe that I could take advantage of it. And I guess that really ties into my first belief about kind of being scared to jump into this shit, because majority of people are still following the conventional path as prescribed. But it's like, look how far AI has come in the past 1 year alone. It's like even service jobs, even coding jobs, even if you're a lawyer or a fucking doctor. Like, I hear stories of my family members telling me the doctor using ChatGPT during the session to look up stuff. It's like, if the AI can do it, then why do we need to pay you? And this is the harsh truth, right? Videos have become therapeutic for me. They give me a space to speak out my thoughts and verbalize them. Otherwise, they're stuck in my head. And I think this is why I was always an overthinker. Oh, I should turn off the music, shouldn't I? Whatever, I like the music. So I was completely, all the thoughts were in my head, but they were never my mind-muscle connection, right? In fitness, mind-muscle connection, my mind-speech connection was very poor, I think. Because it's like the thoughts I had were they were complex, but it's like I didn't know how to translate them into thought, and I was also afraid of speaking. I was this was blocked for a long time. Hell, it is fire. I'm making this video because I had that thought, right? The truth is that the business of the future are personal digital storefronts. So it's like you need a personal brand. Of course, you could have a company brand, but more and more people are flocking to individuals to buy from. We're living in an age of democratization of our lives in a way that's never been done before, right? The democratization of information, the democratization of business. The barriers to entry for business are crazy low compared to 10, 20 years ago. And really, at this point, I think the only excuse we have left is that we don't actually believe in ourselves. And of course, I'm still grappling with this, and I hope to just, I know I'm getting real close though, because over this past month, I've made tremendous progress. And obviously it came from being willing to be uncomfortable and to face something that, shook me. So I start thinking, it's like, how do I frame my offer, right? My story, a lot of it has to do with mental health. A lot of it has to do with fitness, right? This journey of me going from this shy, awkward kid who thought that he would never be happy in this life because he spent all his energy chasing high achieving things that weren't his authentic goals. And so I won't go into the story right now, but it's like at this point, I know I'm gonna build a personal brand. Now I'm just like, what do I want to focus on? Because it's like the online space can become a rat race on its own, and I don't know, that doesn't really vibe with me well, in the sense of like, you have fitness coaches selling you, here's how you get six-pack abs and lean down to 8% body fat by summer so girls can be staring at you at the beach and you can get attention from females. I get it, you need hooks, you need copywriting, you need all of that. But I don't know, I guess it's just like, I don't like the stuff that plays to people's fears and to people's insecurities and what they lack. Probably because I spent too long feeling that way. So like, I'm at the point where I'm so fed up with any like vibration of lack that I'm just like, when I see people trying to get other people into a fear state so they would buy from them, like I feel kind of disgusted. And the thought I had was that, people are selling you, how to grow your business online and all that, but no one's selling how do you find your real authentic voice? Because it's almost become, the online space has become a sea of I don't want to say charlatans, but then everyone's a salesman, basically. Everybody's a salesman, everyone's a marketer. And I would say there's very few people that actually speak their voice. Maybe I shouldn't say very few, but it's definitely become less and less, because now that everyone is discovering you can make money online, everyone's literally, everything about their account, about their personal brand, whatever, is just subtly or not subtly trying to sell you something. But it's like, what about your true voice? Like, what is that worth? What is it worth to actually know what you stand for and the person you want to be in the business you want to build? Because I think I don't know, a lot of people don't value it, and obviously they don't think like me. I think I'm probably a very minority in the way I think. Maybe not, but it certainly seems that way. In the sense of like, people are willing to play a character in order to be the salesman, rather than just be who they actually are, and through that relatability build trust and let people buy from them via that established trust, rather than pumping out everything just to sell. Well, somebody's here. Uncle Wong is here. Uncle Wang. Wong Wang. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't think I'll post this, but I might post it. Because, like, let's be real, I don't, like, who cares, right? Who cares when the thing you're talking about isn't directly related to how it can benefit the viewer? But, well, I guess you don't have to watch if you don't want to watch, right? Just literally a thumb scroll away, so maybe I'll upload it. But yeah, this process of thinking out loud has been very helpful, actually. I really like it. That's all I wanted to explore. I don't have any more thoughts coming up, so we'll probably come back or resume when more thoughts come up. Alright, so I'm editing the video and I had more thoughts come up about the thoughts. Inception. It's 8:36 p.m., so I gotta plan tomorrow and then head to bed soon, but I wanted to explore a bit more. There's one path that I've been thinking of taking, which is speaking to, I guess, dominantly guys who have similar qualities to me in the sense that, maybe they're more introverted, maybe they've been kind of shy, been like kind of blocked to share their voice, to be seen, right? And based on my own journey through like 8 years of fitness and all of the mistakes that I made, as well as my whole journey through self-development, as well as spirituality, and then coming to actually integrate what I learned into my life so that it wasn't just theory and then it wasn't just hustle and grind every day and actually still be miserable with your life, but actually come to a point where you can actually wake up and say, this is the exact life I want. So I guess I'm thinking of like, who am I speaking to? Who am I speaking to? Is it people who want to get into the creator game? Who want to find that voice, who want to build their dream body, who want to fall in love with their life fundamentally? Right? Isn't that the entire point of self-improvement, of spirituality? I mean, I guess the point of business for most people is just making money. But what's the point of making money? Don't you want to get to a point where you can fall in love with your life, right? It's like I'm in a unique situation where I feel like I've achieved the fall in love with my life, but I haven't achieved the money. And I'll be honest, a lot of opportunities have been handed to me. I'm in a very fortunate position to even be able to be where I am. And I'm very grateful for that. But it's like, am I going to squander that? Am I just going to settle? Or am I going to actually take this opportunity to create more opportunity? Right? Anyway. So it's like, do I help aspiring creators who are also, struggling with the same things that I struggled with, but then I've figured out and then I help them through? Or do I help, you can say I'm overthinking about my audience and stuff. Then I start thinking oh, they don't have money. These aspiring creators don't have money because they're aspiring creators. And so they can't pay me. And ultimately I want to make a business, right? That makes money, right? Of course, the passion comes first. I could have done 20 different things by now and probably made money if it weren't for my pickiness with being authentic and doing something that I actually want to do and I actually love. So that comes first for me. But I'm not going to sit around and bullshit to you that, oh yeah, the money doesn't matter. Of course I want to make money. You know what I mean? That's one of the things, right? It's like when I was deep in my spiritual phase, it's like, oh yeah, reject the material world, money doesn't matter. But it's like, at this point where I'm at right now, like you come into harmony with both the material and the spiritual, and you recognize it's okay to want what you want. Anyway, so then my thought was like, well, if I help creators that don't have a voice or like trying to grow, then why would they would they even have any money? And then obviously then I started thinking, well, I can't really help bigger creators because obviously they're more successful than me, and there's a reason they're bigger than me, and who would, when you have low followers, it's just the sad truth. It's like your authority just, whatever that sound effect means. So then I'm left with a more, would you say generic, just not targeting creators, but just targeting guys. Targeting guys who are just sick and tired of being miserable, and actually getting down to the root of like why they don't feel happy with their life, why they don't feel happy with their body, and then working to essentially transform everything, right? Whatever it takes to create that life that they actually, when they wake up, they're like, oh my God, I fucking love my life. Jesus Christ, I can't believe I used to think I would never be happy in this life. And that's how I used to think. Or at least I thought, I'll be happy when I'm 35 and I'm executive at JP Morgan or whatever, insert bullshit company name, blah, 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 part of some big pyramid hierarchy structure in a position of power, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, that's where my head is at right now. I have this community I made on school, reality architecture. That's what I want to be doing, to be honest with you guys. Reality architecture. In other words, create a fully custom designed reality and be the architect of your own life. Whether that's with your career, that's with your business, that's with your fitness, that's with your lifestyle and your habits and like your mindset, and like it's like the way you view things in your day to day, and like your things. A lot of things feel not good to us because we haven't made that click, haven't made that alignment to like a different way that would actually make us feel like fulfilled or happy or in a better relationship, whatever that thing is. But we don't find it. So we keep going around thinking, oh, when I hit this big milestone, that will be the answer to achieving, let's say, the happiness that I want, the success that I want, the wealth that I want, the freedom that I want. But my whole spiel, and I will repeat this time and time and time and time and time again, over and over and over, is that you have to create what you want in your day-to-day. As in, you have to be doing what you want to do in your day-to-day if you are to ever create a life that you actually love. And I will not stop hollering that until people get the fucking point. At one level, yes, sacrifice for the future. The actions I'm taking right now are a sacrifice for my future where I'll be successful monetarily, way beyond my wildest imagination. That's the sacrifice I'm making. But it is absolutely not a sacrifice to me because I'm doing exactly what I want to be doing. And I understand there's all these blocks like, oh, well, I'm not like, spoiled like you, and I don't have money, and I'm not living with my parents, and I have to pay rent, I have to do all that and all that. But it's like, okay, you gotta do what you gotta do, but it's like, what can you do to make your life more enjoyable while knowing that you have to do what you have to do, but that you can expand your mind, upgrade your body, and enhance the way you go through your daily life in a way that's less miserable, that's less sad, in a way where you don't have to keep delaying your happiness for some future attainment, but you can build it into your day. And as you build it into your day, you become more aligned with the person you want to be. And as you become more aligned with the person you want to be, well, things start happening for you that would otherwise not happen because you kept waiting and waiting and waiting, thinking, oh, my painful sacrifice that I hate doing will somehow end me up in a future that I love. How do you end up in a future you love if you're doing something on a day-to-day basis that you hate? This is the entire fallacy. And I don't know, I don't know how to unsee it once I saw it, you know? I don't know if this is obvious to people, or they just think I'm talking out of my ass and like, what the fuck is he saying, you know? Like, I genuinely don't know. This is the way I think now. This is the way I live, you know? And I do not, the version of me who once thought that way is like a completely different person, you know? It's not the same person. And, well, that person wasn't very happy, you know? He did all the things he was supposed to, but wasn't very happy. I could be working some fucking bullshit white collar job right now. Like, if I hadn't realized that my freedom actually comes from me creating the life I want to lead without being haunted by what other people will think of me, I would, if it wasn't for that realization, I would be working in some corporate job right now. Maybe some management job, I don't know. But I'm a high achiever at heart. And of course, I have days where, not so much now because I'm actually like living the journey, but in the not so long ago past, I would have days where I would just get completely pissed off at like, I'm not where I want to be at. And not completely pissed off, but it's like I would see my friends, right? We graduated, 2 years ago from university. And some of them are doing really well. Working at Nvidia, Tesla, the big accounting firms. And then it got me to reflect in the sense of like, damn, I could be like them too. Except that was like the 10% part of me. The 90% part of me was like, well, thank God you're not in their position, because you'd be slaving away doing something 40 to 50 to 60 hours a week that absolutely had no meaning to you. Because, well, those friends right now, it's like, yeah, on paper, brilliant. Wow. You're going so far, you should be so successful, but they're just tired, stressed, don't really feel like they own their life. And that's not a position I want to trade. What were we harping on? It was all over the offer. All over the offer. I think I'll end up uploading it, and I mean, I wonder if anyone will watch, but can you just leave some kind of comment if you get to this point? I just want to know. Thank you for being here, by the way. This is a completely selfish video, but it's like, if you've learned something here, like maybe you can learn something here, you know what I mean? It's like, you don't know until you put it out, right? There's another thought I wrote about me. I just like to write thoughts out throughout the day. It's like, yeah. 3 things are true about me. Number 1, I'm a fat kid at heart. Number 2, I'm a hopeless romantic. So we ended our relationship about a month ago, me and my girlfriend. And I gave everything because that's just the person I am. When I'm in something, I'm fully committed. I'm all in. And there are no regrets whatsoever because I believe when it comes to love, you love full out or you don't love at all. Love is just full out. Love is a full out thing. You give your all, and that's love. But that being said, now that I'm single, during the first 3-4 weeks, I was like, I don't need no woman. I can focus on my business and focus on myself, and all the women will come flocking, and because I don't need to spend any of my energy there. But I'm like, today I'm like, oh, I feel kind of I feel like I'm resisting love, basically. I feel like I'm avoiding women because of this, like, my earlier thoughts of like, you should there's like absolutely 0 point focusing on women, and that's true. There is no point like focusing on them, but like, a man is lying if he says he doesn't want companionship, The only reason he would say that is because he's been hurt, right? His heart's been broken or whatever, and now he's closed off and he just wants to push away women, push away love. But deep down he wants it, And maybe I'm kind of in that position. I wouldn't say my heart is broken, but you have single person problems, and then you have in a relationship people problems. You know what I mean? And the funny thing about the whole thing is that when you're single, you think about how you want a relationship, and then when you're in the relationship, sometimes you think about how nice to be single. That's not always the case, obviously, but I guess I feel a little I feel resistant and afraid to fall in love because I can fall in love quickly because I'm a hopeless romantic, and that's just the truth. Not in a needy way. My whole last relationship was built on the fact that I loved her even before she loved me. And how do you explain it to people? Like, people don't understand. The thing with love is that, like, you're not you're not needy of them, you know? You see how beautiful they are. You see, and you just want to love them. When you see someone's beauty, right? And I'm not just like the cosmetic beauty, but like the beauty in, let's say, their vulnerability, the beauty in what they think is their ugliness. But all you see is beauty. In that sense, that's love, right? So I guess because of I feel just resistant to opening my heart, and yet I know if I open my heart, like it'll come too quickly. And I don't want to, yeah, I guess it's the fear of I don't want to deal with another relationship of going through the same process of like, courting, and then like after what? What happened? Oh my god. Okay, well, we're gonna like go through the process of courting, and then after like whether it's 3 months, 9 months, or 3 years, or 7 years, realize that you don't actually want the same thing. Well, I guess with that past relationship, we both knew from the very beginning. We both knew from the very beginning there were multiple huge incompatibilities in terms of what we wanted out of life. But we gave it our best shot, and that's why we stayed together. We loved each other as hard as we both could. And we both really tried, and that's really beautiful, I don't think you should ever regret loving. But ultimately, we both came to the acceptance and agreement that it was better to move on, and leave the container of the relationship because of these misalignments that were secretly kind of just tugging away in the back of our heads, even though we tried everything to make it work, right? So yeah, that was that. I guess because I'm a hopeless romantic, I might give my heart away out too quickly, and then I guess I'm afraid of losing control, and ending up into a situation that ends up biting my ass, right? I guess that's the whole reason people are afraid to love. Because when you've had the feeling of being burned, it's like, it's fucking scary to like lose yourself to the power of love all over again. Because when you're in love, you actually don't know whether it's gonna work or not. Like, love taints your mind completely with love. Rationality, logic, all of that goes out the window. Right? Love is obviously very deeply linked to, I would say it's very, well, to the heart. The heart is linked to intuition, the gut. Right? Hey, that's a logical fallacy. You shut the fuck up. Not everything's about logic, man. Well, number 3. The third thing that's true about me is that I'm raw as fuck. I can be as real as it gets. Well, I am as real as it gets. Except I hold myself back from being that rawness and that realness. It's because of the past version of me that was afraid to be seen, afraid to be heard, scared he would be judged. But here I am, speaking my heart out, giving away everything, right? This is why I'm a hopeless romantic. It's because I love you, and I want the best for you. And like, I hope you can learn something utterly useful that you can apply into your life and change a quality of it for the better, you know. And it doesn't always come with these tips, hacks, guides, formulas, blueprints, methods, frameworks, techniques. Sometimes it just comes from a raw, honest conversation, and something somewhere along the way just clicks inside your mind and it makes sense. And then it changes your behavior. Yeah. 3 points. Fat kid at heart, hopeless romantic, and raw as fuck. There are more things probably, but those are the 3 that I thought of. It's 9:01 p.m. I'm gonna get to bed. Life is beautiful when you don't hold back. The scary thing about not holding back is that you lose control of the outcome in that sense, because you're not manipulating your speech in order to get somebody to do something. All you're doing is just speaking your undeniable truth. And whether the person wants to receive it or not is completely up to them, right? I'm kind of, now that I think about it, am I fucking crazy? Like, what's wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? It's like, if I post this on the internet for strangers to see, I'm like, I'm like giving myself out away, you know? You know, that feeling of being naked on stage in your dreams? Yeah. You guys have had that dream before, right? I swear to God, I've had that dream like half a dozen to a dozen times throughout my life. I wonder if any of you guys have had that. I feel like it's a universal thing, but I could be wrong. Very interesting. Yeah. I'll end it here. Thank you for watching if you're here. Leave a comment of boob if you're still here. Okay. Good night.